there were possible ulterior motives with, the Instagram followers.
Honestly, I don't know, Zach. I don't know what to
And
tell you.
I don't know either.
Drama between Anastasia and Kylie takes over episode 4 of The Bachelor, and we are going to break it all down. Hey guys, welcome back to Shared News. Let's get into tonight's Bachelor recap. Before we do, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm your host, Zachary Reality, with Kayla G. Kayla, what did you think of this episode? I mean, last week was crazy. This week, not so much, but a little bit. What were your thoughts?
They turned it down a notch, unfortunately. But I mean, the Anastasia Kylie drama, it was giving. So let's dive into that.
Yeah, it's definitely something to talk about. I feel like I actually do have a little bit of insider tea about this. So I'll do tell. I will share.
I can't
but
wait.
Let's talk about the first one-on-one date. It went to Kat. Now, they ended up having a boat trip. I thought it was really boring during the day. I was like, I don't know. Like, this is a reality show. Like, where is the fun, big personalities? And I just wasn't getting that from Zach or Kat. But then at night, we saw her open up about her strained relationship with her mom. And I definitely connected with that and thought she was very vulnerable. So I wanted to applaud her for that. And Zach gave her the one-on-one date rose. What are your thoughts on their connection?
Yeah, definitely during the day. They're in their interviews, they're talking about how much they like each other and everything, but as a viewer watching it, it felt very awkward to me. It was just like very robotic, like, oh, I'll put my hand here, you do this, and then like, don't even get me started on the dancing. Like, I can't say much because I'm not a dancer myself, but I mean, I know when it's not good dancing. I know how to, to see it. So, but they're cute. Zach has a type, and I've liked Katherine since the very beginning. Or I guess we're calling her Kat now.
He does. Well, I don't know. He definitely has a type, and it's Kat, Katie, Katherine. Like, there's so many of the Ks. I feel like this is like the Kardashians.
Yes.
So
I would do really
don't know
good on
who's
this
who.
season.
You really would, honestly.
Minus the blonde hair.
Yeah, but maybe they'll put him on Dancing with the Stars. I don't know. Like, imagine.
Put him back on TV? Oh, wow. Okay.
No,
I don't know
know
about that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, let's talk about the drama. It started on the group date.
Yes.
At first, we have to point out, like, Gabby couldn't eat shellfish, so she, like, wasn't able to kiss Zach because he was eating shellfish. She's allergic, so justice for Gabby. But the drama happened between Anastasia and Kylie because Kylie felt like Anastasia was hogging up too much of Zach's time, so she took it upon herself to interrupt Zach. What were your thoughts on that interaction and how it went down? Who was trying to fight who?
Yeah, so that very first interaction, I was team Kylie. I do change later in the episode, but she wasn't trying to fight Anastasia, and Anastasia kind of going around and like starting that and talking to all the girls, like, what are you doing? Like, Kylie seems like a sweet girl, and she definitely didn't mean like, I'm going to fight you.
You think that Anastasia blew it out of proportion? Because I kind of thought Kylie blew it out of proportion. I couldn't even tell.
I know, right? Yeah, Anastasia just telling everyone, it created a problem before it even was, and I think Kylie was like reacting to that.
Yeah, so it was kind of confusing because it felt like a lot of she said, but the one thing that kind of made me want to believe Kylie is that it felt like a lot of the girls in the house were rallying behind Kylie. And I think that if there's, a lot of the majority of the girls siding with one of the girls, it's safe to assume, unless everybody's conforming because everyone's scared to form their own opinions, that Kylie might have been more in the right. And then she brought up the whole follower thing that Anastasia allegedly said there's 14 girls left. And, everybody could gain 50,000 followers. Do you think Anastasia said it like that? Or do you think that because of her job in content managing that it could have been misconstrued?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. She said that she was answering questions. And so she should probably know better that these girls, especially, I think kind of what happened is Kylie, since like she was mad at Anastasia and had this information in the back of her brain and was just like, oh, I'm mad at her, so now I'm going to do this. And I do think Anastasia said it, and she shouldn't have. Like, she needs to realize the environment she's in, and, like, you need to, like, play the game a little bit, at least. Like, I don't know. You don't just go say that. So she did. I do think she said it. I think the context is, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it happened in the airport on the way to the Bahamas. I almost feel like maybe Anastasia like let her guard down. You know what I mean? Like she's been in the house, she knows
Sure.
the girls. I feel like this is where people's true colors start to come out. So I definitely do think that Anastasia had in the back of her mind how many followers she was going to get, being on this show. And I think that she has more experience with influencing and content since her job is like a content manager. So I think that you're kind of right where it was maybe a little bit of like, yes, she's here for her business, but also she was just kind of had more knowledge in the space. And some of the other girls were probably curious about, the whole like influencing world. But at the end of the day, like none of these girls are gaining 50K followers from The Bachelor. Like that hasn't happened in like 2 years.
Seemed a little
so they're all
high.
yeah, they're all at a short for luck. I'm like, does Zach even have 50,000 followers? Like, hello.
Right? Yeah, I think Victoria J was the only one with those type of numbers.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. But Ariel, she ended up getting the group date rose. Who knew? But she seems cool and nice, right? Like,
I'm obsessed.
like her, right? Oh,
yeah,
obsessed.
I absolutely love her. I am. She's like right below Gabby. Gabby and Ariel, I think, are my favorite.
I actually do like Gabby. At first, I was like, I don't know, but now I like her, and I think that she seems like
so funny,
an it girl, at least for this season.
Yes.
Also,
Agreed.
Charity
I was really
has some
worried
type of
about her.
tea. Yeah.
Oh, I was just worried about her when she actually kissed Zach after she said that she couldn't kiss him because of shellfish. So someone needs to check on Gabby.
Imagine she would have an allergic reaction. I don't know. I hope she's fine,
Could
right?
you imagine?
She seems fine. But Charity has some type of tea because she heard something and Zach, tried to talk to her about it. I'm not sure. I feel like now that Anastasia left, I don't know if we'll ever get the tea from Charity, maybe at the Women Tell All. But it seemed like other girls in the house were involved in this conversation, but no one kind of fessed up to it, or it just didn't get shown. So it really makes me wonder what happened. We'll get into that in a second, but Brooklyn ended up getting the second one-on-one date, and she opened up about domestic abuse that happened in her past that stemmed from her father and her ex-boyfriend. Now, she did end up getting a rose, and I mean, I just feel bad for her. I feel bad for, what she's been through. I think that she was very vulnerable. I don't necessarily think she had to open up to Zach and the whole world on the first date. But I think that's something that she wanted to do to share her story. So we have to applaud her for it.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of courage to talk about your story like that, especially when it's so intense. And can I just say, Zach is the best listener this season. He is like the best listening face. Like, I think he actually is listening, but I think it was also a moment for them to, connect over, real life things and for him to understand her better. So yeah, it took a lot of courage. I applaud her, and I loved how the show did kind of like a domestic abuse hotline for anyone who needs it. It was a good moment, sharing and relating to other people who have been through that.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think that, this will help someone. Somebody who watched felt connected. Somebody is going to call that hotline and didn't know it was a resource. So it's definitely awesome that Brooklyn was able to share her story. I don't think she's going to end up with Zach. I don't think they're going to fall in love.
No.
But
like the fist
she'll be
bump,
around.
Zachary? The fist bump.
Literally. Let's get back into the Anastasia drama because, they start gossiping at the hotel a little bit longer, and then it comes time for the rose ceremony, and Zach confronts Anastasia again. And I feel like he did give her 2 chances to explain herself. So it's not like he's just sending her home blindly, even though it kind of feels like he's just sending anyone home who's involved in drama, like he did with, Christina last week. He did give her a chance to explain herself, and I guess he just didn't believe her.
Yeah, I think he did also mention that the connection wasn't there enough for him to overlook that. I think the doubt and his level of relationship with her at that time, just it didn't make it worth it to keep her around because, once that doubt is planted, I'm not sure if you can ever really get away from that,
Yeah, and it's clear that he trusted other girls in the house who were talking about her. What I was going to say earlier is I heard, because I have some friends that work at Revolve, that apparently Anastasia was talking to one of the girls who works at Revolve. Like a producer was playing the middleman on the phone, trying to get her Revolve clothes shipped out to the Bahamas so that she could wear it. So
no way. Okay, that doesn't look
yes.
the greatest for her.
But, like, if she needs fresh, trendy clothes while she's on TV, like, you know, she has a relationship with Revolve before the show. Maybe some of the other girls were just, like, asking her, like, oh, how do I get free clothes from Revolve? And then, like, the conversation got twisted. I mean, that's kind of what I think happened. But I'm going to call my
Yeah, and
friend
it's
after and get more
interesting.
details.
Please. Yeah, it's interesting how Charity only brought up Anastasia when it was like a two or maybe even more people talking about this, a two-way conversation. So, and it is interesting how, you know, whatever, like Charity kind of cried last week and that person who made her cry went home. Charity says Anastasia is this or that. That person goes home. I think Charity holds a lot of weight with Zach, and it kind of shows where his feelings are for her.
Yeah, he definitely likes Charity. He likes Katie a lot too. You know, she got some extra time. He likes Jess. He likes Gabby. So he has some girls that he really likes. And then there's a few other girls who we just haven't heard much from. Now, Kylie ended up having an emotional breakdown at the rose ceremony. Not surprising. I think she is kind of dramatic and emotional. But she ended up staying, and Davia and Genevieve went home. What were your thoughts on the two of them leaving?
Genevieve, I had a feeling I didn't really see a connection with her and Zach. She was actually my prediction. Davia, not that I'm not surprised, but I just really liked her. I was hoping to see more of her. Watching this episode, I was just kind of wishing, I was like, why isn't she getting more screen time? But I guess it's kind of makes sense now. But I loved her, and I'm curious why, since he's so quick to send people home, and they were literally at the cocktail party having a conversation about their relationship. Why did he wait for the rose ceremony to send her home?
True. That's a good point. Maybe he just had to think about it. I mean, I felt bad for Davia because she was really emotional. And I just feel like the girls who are on the show need to know that just because Zach doesn't pick you, it doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. It doesn't mean that you're not going to find love. Like, I know it feels like the world is crumbling when you're getting sent home, but like, it's a blessing in disguise. You don't want to be with Zach anyway, Davia. Like, you're going to be fine. So I did feel bad for her.
She probably already forgot
you know,
his name.
I mean, I forgot his name too, and it's the same name as me.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Decent episode, not the best.
I think one thing you can really say about Zach that you just keep seeing every episode is once there's drama, he just like gets rid of it. He doesn't affect the other relationships. He's not canceling all the cocktail parties. Like Clayton would have, like, he can't make a decision to save his life. Like, I love Clayton now, but it's refreshing to have a Bachelor who can actually not get swept up in all the drama and the manipulation and just kind of have that kind of compass and know what he wants to do.
It's just a different type of Bachelor. It really is. And I think it depends on what show you want to watch. Do you want these girls who are going to cause drama around like me? Or do you want true love? You know, there's different type of watchers. I mean, Kayla, the show used to be called the most dramatic show ever, okay? It's no longer that.
Yes, specifically this episode, I'd have to say it's a little bit of a snoozer. But so I get it. I like a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, next week should be interesting because they're heading to London. So we're going to react to 4 clips from next week's trailer. So let's check out the first one. We're going to London.
What are you up to?
Dating the same guy.
Right.
This is the perfect place to fall in love.
Oh, you're so cute.
Aw, it looks like they're on a date with a lot of dogs. Now, I'm excited for London. I actually studied abroad there. I lived in England for 4 months back in 2018. So I
cool.
mean, I'm excited to see some London nostalgia from my trip there. What about you? Are you excited for Gabby's date?
So excited to tell you that I like screamed at the TV when I saw it was a date not only just for Gabby, but Gabby and corgis, like animals. Like I screamed at the TV. And then the group date looks fun too. Looks like they're having a good time talking to some locals at a bar. It seems like a good time.
Yeah, and it also seems like all the girls are getting along. Twerking on the guy from
Mercedes.
Is that Mercedes? What's the thing called again? The Buckingham Palace? I mean, I don't think this is that, but those are the guys that stand in front of it.
No. Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Soldiers. But get it, girl. Hopefully she doesn't get in trouble for that. I mean, knowing The Bachelor, they'll make a whole thing out of it. Oh my God, Mercedes is talking to the guy, and now she needs to go home. You know how The Bachelor works. Let's keep watching. Our next clip is going to be continuing from Gabby's date. So we'll see if there's truly a connection between them. Let's watch.
I had
haven't met a man so genuine, so ready to fall in love. I feel so special. I can absolutely picture my life with Zach.
Ooh, it looks like Gabby has the princess date where she gets to like get a pretty gown. You know she didn't bring that in her luggage all the way from Vermont.
Right? Her gown is gorgeous. She looks beautiful. Looks like
Gorgeous.
the chandelier. It's a moment.
Yeah, and Katie is getting a lot of time too. I mean, do we think it's Katie and Gabby? I feel like those are the top two, right?
I could see that. I do think he's obsessed with Kat after this last date. Like them on the pool table, on the cocktail party. I feel like he has like stars in his eyes whenever he looks at her.
Yeah, there's a few girls he likes. Wait until those
And
connections get
Charities.
deeper and see what happens. Yeah,
can't
Charity's
wait.
definitely top 4. Okay, next week things are gonna take a turn because Jesse Palmer has some bad news. Let's watch.
Nothing's going to stop us from having such an amazing week.
Unfortunately, I got some really bad news.
Are you serious?
I was not expecting that.
Okay, so the next clip we're gonna watch, we think it's something to do with COVID, but do you have any thoughts on this clip? Because all we know it's bad news and that Gabby was crying.
Was it Gabby crying? I was actually looking out for Gabby because okay, maybe I missed it. I thought that was Greer. Because I was wondering, is since Gabby just recently
that's
I think
Greer?
that's Greer.
With the hoops?
So if that's what I think. But I was thinking since they just went on a date together, like if the COVID thing is true, I wonder if she's gonna have to quarantine in any capacity.
Well, last season when Logan got COVID, he got sent home. So
Who
are
even
they
knows
just gonna
what
send
happened
people
with that?
home? No, he did
I mean, they
have
can't
COVID.
send the lead
like,
home.
True. Or can they? I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I know you wouldn't.
Honestly, just give us a lesbian season. Have some of the girls fall in love with each other. This is what we
Please.
want.
Yes,
Okay,
ABC,
next clip.
listen to us.
Next clip, last clip. Let's see what happens.
Where we go from here?
This week was wrong.
I don't know why this happens.
It's like love being lost.
The million-dollar question now is, what are we gonna do?
I mean, if he didn't have COVID, like, what is this camera?
Yeah, that seems like the most possible situation here. But like, think about it. Like during actual the pandemic, people played like games over Zoom. They could maneuver some dates and still have some FaceTime, just less kissing, which I know Zach won't be happy about.
I mean, I don't know what the rules are in Europe. It could be like 5 days, but in America, it's usually like 10 days to quarantine. So that's a huge shift in the production schedule. But Zach is struggling and he's crying, and something dramatic happened. And it might not even be COVID. It might be something else. But like what?
It could be, yeah, because it seems like the girls are really upset, like for more than, I mean, they aren't like worried for his actual health, like he's gonna be fine. Whether it's, I don't know. I just could, like the way that Kat like stormed off. I don't know, man. I mean, there's no other reason though for him to be on some weird camera.
Yeah, who knows? And maybe one of the girls got COVID and he actually has to Zoom that girl. Or maybe it's a Zoom rose ceremony. I mean, we're in 2023, Kayla. Like, when will COVID end?
I know, it's like season like 59 of The Bachelor and we're still dealing with this. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you have any final predictions or thoughts? I mean, I think we just want next week to be more interesting than this week, right?
Yeah, the only thing is I just don't see Gabby in any of these reactions from this big news. So I feel like she's going to be very heavily affected by whatever happens.
For sure. And we want to hear your thoughts if you guys watched this episode. Let us know your predictions. Let us know your thoughts on the drama between Kylie and Anastasia in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell because we'll be back with more Bachelor Nation tea very, very soon. I'm your host, Zachary Reality with Kayla G. You guys can follow us on our socials. They're on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.